that Trackhouse Entertainment Group and Trackhouse Racing has purchased the NASCAR operation of Chip Ganassi Racing.
Yes, you heard that right. Trackhouse Racing has announced that it has purchased Chip Ganassi Racing's entire NASCAR program beginning at the conclusion of the 2021 season. This announcement brings in to the end of a 20-year era of Chip Ganassi in NASCAR. Welcome to this breaking news edition of Inside Lines. My name is JettMDK, and a bombshell has been dropped in the NASCAR world. Chip Ganassi Racing will be no more at the end of the season. All of its equities, its cars, its assets, in fact, the entire building in Concord, North Carolina itself will all now belong to Pitbull, Justin Marks, and the Trackhouse Racing team. The announcement was held earlier today at the NASCAR Hall of Fame by Ty Norris, motorsports executive for Trackhouse Racing, Justin Marks, the owner, and Chip Ganassi. Here are some of the highlights.
That Trackhouse Entertainment Group and Trackhouse Racing has purchased the NASCAR operation of Chip Ganassi Racing. Trackhouse has acquired all of the NASCAR assets of Ganassi Racing, including all the equipment and its two charters. Trackhouse will take ownership of the assets at the conclusion of the 2021 racing season. Daniel Suarez, who is a current driver for Trackhouse Racing in the number 99 Chevrolet, will continue as one of our drivers, and we will be discussing a second driver at a later date, which is a confirmation that Trackhouse Racing will be fielding two full-time NASCAR Cup Series entries starting in 2022 and moving deep into the future.
I must say our team was not for sale. Justin simply came to me with a great offer and even a better vision for racing. We will still be involved. I'm not getting out of racing. I mean, I still have three other teams in the IndyCar Series, IMSA Sports Cars, and Extreme E. So our days by no means are getting out of racing.
But we're going to be in the news for a long time to come. We're going to be able to talk about races and sponsors, and we talk about, drivers and everything for years and years and hopefully decades to come. I think today is about honoring the legacy and the contributions that Chip has made to NASCAR over the last 20 years. Over 1,300 Cup races, won every marquee event in the sport, helped launch the stock car careers of drivers like Jamie McMurray and Kyle Larson, Juan Pablo Montoya, now Ross Chastain, and a number of others. And they've executed numerous groundbreaking partnership programs, companies like Haviland, Target, Bass Pro Shops, Miller Coors, McDonald's, and more. And all that hard work and legacy, everything that has been built at CGR over the past 2 decades, that will serve as the foundation for the Trackhouse vision moving forward. There's lots of work to do for us at Trackhouse, but there's also a lot of enthusiasm to do that work. So I want to thank again everybody that helped make this come together on this project. And I want to congratulate Chip on the indelible mark that you've made in the sport.
And what a career in NASCAR for Chip Ganassi Racing. Over 1,600 races he's competed in from 2001, and it will come to an end at the 2021 season. Chip Ganassi originally was Sabco Racing by Felix Sabates before Chip Ganassi purchased 80% of the ownership at the beginning of the 2001 season. He's had 19 wins under the CGR banner, over 190 top 5 finishes, 461 top 10s, and have won those 19 races with 5 different drivers, the most being Kyle Larson with 6, Jamie McMurray with 5 wins, 4 with Sterling Marlin, and 2 apiece for Juan Pablo Montoya and Kurt Busch. And also in 2010, they had that, what I believe to be is probably one of their best seasons, when they won the 2010 Daytona 500 and Brickyard 400 in the same year with Jamie McMurray. In fact, they also won the 2010 Indy 500, making Chip Ganassi Racing so far the only team to win the Daytona 500, Brickyard 400, and Indy 500 in the same year. So they've had a lot of history in NASCAR under their belt in 2 decades. Now this, when I tell you this was a bombshell, this was a bombshell. Nobody expected this announcement to take place. In fact, there were some people that were potentially saying that when Trackhouse announced that they were going to do this press conference, there are a lot of people saying that maybe Tony Robbins, for you don't know who he is, he's an author, a very famous one at that. I think it was shown taking pictures and being with around Justin Marks and Pitbull, the owners of Trackhouse. And so many people assumed that he would be another owner. We would have 3 owners at Trackhouse, but this, again, complete left field, and we had no idea that this announcement would take place. And it's just kind of shocking because also, if you listen to that announcement, or at least some of the highlights that we posted there, that Justin came up to Chip with this deal a month or 2 ago. Within a month or 2, Chip was not looking for sale. He was not looking for anyone that needed a charter. He was just simply doing his own thing. And then Justin, he had the courage to come up to him, present him with his idea and his vision. And Chip liked the idea and decided to take it. Now, Chip did say that it was a way for him to maybe ease off the throttle a little bit, because you have to understand that he's got, like he said, 3 other teams to deal with. He's got IndyCar. He also got his IMSA WeatherTech program in the DPI division, as well as Extreme E, a new series that just began last year. So he's got a lot on his plate. He's 63 years old. He also mentioned near the beginning of that press conference that NASCAR is starting to get a lot of new fresh blood coming into the mix, with GMS Racing, Colleague Racing, now Trackhouse, Michael Jordan. We're starting to see these new owners getting younger and younger and younger. Jeff Gordon at Hendrick Motorsports, he's going to more likely take over once Rick Hendrick retires in the near future. So the sport's getting younger, and they're getting new fresh ideas and new visions. And Chip thought this idea would be a great way for him to leave NASCAR, ease off the throttle a little bit, and hand it over to someone that has a brighter, better, and basically just a new vision for the future of NASCAR. Now the question is, we do know that Daniel Suarez, he will be part of the team next season. The question now remains is what's going to happen to their current CGR drivers, Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain. Now, it was reported that those 2 drivers, Chastain and Kurt Busch, they are the top candidates to be Trackhouse's second driver, but still, they are looking at other drivers that they could potentially take a look at. They also mentioned on how the RCR Alliance, they're going to have to take a look at that with the acquisition of CGR. They will potentially reevaluate their relationship with Richard Childress Racing, but they will continue to drive Chevrolet and use Hendrick and ECR engines, which I think is a good idea considering how dominating they have been in 2021. Now, it's also important to note out because if you listen to Ty Norris's Dale Jr. Download episode, he talked about how Trackhouse was located in Nashville, Tennessee. The entertainment group is located and will remain in Nashville. However, Trackhouse Racing Team, they will basically take over Chip Ganassi's NASCAR group and remain in Concord, North Carolina. And this is a huge step, and I think this also is a better step for Trackhouse, because if you really think about it, one charter itself is $10 million. There was, according to reports, that just to buy a charter is $10 million, just for one charter. It's a better investment idea. Instead of just buying a charter, just buy out everything. Buy out all the equipment, buy out the assets. It's a much better long-term plan to buy out, an entire existing team already, rather than just starting out completely fresh, where the hill is going to be a lot steeper to climb and making it to the top, rather than just already purchasing an existing team that already has the parts and the pieces that you're working with. So I think it's a great investment move and great idea from Justin Marks and Pitbull and everyone at Trackhouse Racing, Ty Norris, to make this decision. And it's kind of funny. It comes around full circle, because I don't know if you remember this, but Justin Marks drove for Chip Ganassi Racing Xfinity Series. In fact, he got his one and only win at Mid-Ohio in 2016 in Chip Ganassi's 42 Xfinity car. So to go from that to now Justin Marks basically buying out Chip Ganassi's NASCAR team, again, it kind of comes full circle, but this blows silly season, blows it right off the door hinges. I mean, this is unbelievable of this announcement that Chip Ganassi is no longer going to be part of NASCAR. It's kind of crazy because that this is actually happening, because all of us, pretty sure all of us grew up seeing the 42 car and the 40 car. Remember the Coors Light, the Silver Bullet with Sterling Marlin in NASCAR, the 42 Target car with Juan Pablo Montoya, and then later on Kyle Larson. See that coming to an end. It's bittersweet, but it's an exciting new future for NASCAR. Again, with these new owners coming in, new fresh ideas, new vision, new car next year. There's a lot of new good changes coming to NASCAR next season and in the long to distant future. That makes me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all fans, excited about racing. So, I'm really excited to see what Trackhouse can do, not only at the end of this year, because that's next year. We also understand that whole thing, that's going on next year. They still got to work on this year and trying to get Suarez into the playoffs. He's 48 points behind in 18th spot. They got some work to do, but it's exciting announcement for Trackhouse for this announcement, or for this deal to come about with Chip Ganassi, and I am looking forward to see what they can do in 2022. But that is going to conclude this breaking news episode of Inside Lines. I had a separate video coming out with a bunch of other storylines talking about the SRX TV ratings, Pocono TV ratings. I'll probably get that out either tonight or tomorrow morning, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. What are your thoughts on this announcement? I'm probably not going to be shocked and think 99.9% of you had no idea this announcement would take place, but what do you think this impact will have in terms of Trackhouse's future in NASCAR? And also, what are your thoughts on the legacy of Chip Ganassi Racing in NASCAR as their 20-year run in NASCAR comes to an end? But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. But until next time, my name is Jet from MDK, and I'll see y'all next time.